guys, so I had this idea to take a Kahoot that I had created for my class and turn it into a study guide. So the idea of this is that in going over the questions for Kahoot and giving an explanation for the answers, it might help you better prepare for tests in my class. So here we go. This one is on properties of matter. Okay, so which properties of matter changes with the sample size? And the correct answer is volume and mass. All of the rest of these properties of matter, it doesn't matter how much of a sample I have, how little or how small. The density of an object is not going to change. Conductivity, melting and boiling point, these do not change. Volume and mass are not true properties of matter. They are dependent on how much of the object you have. So how much water I have or how much of any element I have. Volume and mass will change. How can you separate iron shavings when mixed with sand? Well, anytime you see the word iron, the best thing to do is to use a magnet, because we know that iron is attracted to a magnet. What physical property do marbles, ice, and a rubber ball have in common? Well, the answer cannot be conductivity, because ice is a form of water, so it does have conductivity, but marbles and rubber do not have the property of conductivity. We really cannot say anything about density because we don't know the measurements. And melting point, we really don't know the melting point of these, and actually every different thing has different melting points. So what they really have in common is that they're all solids. So the state of matter is the same between them. So which physical properties are independent of sample size? Well, we need to look for the answer that does not contain the word volume or mass, because we know volume and mass do depend on sample size, and they also are not physical properties. So in this situation, density and magnetism is the correct answer. Which is not a physical property? Well, we did not learn about flammability and reactivity, so we should automatically be clued into that is not the correct answer, or those are not physical properties. They are in fact chemical properties, but these are not physical properties that we learned about. When sugar completely dissolves in water, it is considered soluble. Soluble means it dissolves. What property classifies objects as either insulators or conductors? The correct answer is conductivity, either thermal conductivity or electrical conductivity. This is the property that we talked about, insulators and conductors. Which items are electrical conductors? So these are things that allow electricity to pass through. And these would be all of the things that are metal. So aluminum foil, copper penny, and paperclip. Metals are electrical conductors. Which items are electrical insulators? Wood, plastic, glass, and rubber. These were the things that stopped electricity. All of the rest of these have some form of metal in one of the choices. Which property is best to identify unknown liquids? If we're talking about liquids, we are talking about boiling point. Measuring the temperature of water in different types of glasses is testing thermal conductivity. anytime we're talking about temperature, we're talking about thermal conductivity. Temperature and thermal. Which properties do not change based on a sample size? Now, we talked about volume and mass as being the things that do change. Volume and mass change depending on how big of a sample you have. So we want to know which properties do not change. So we need to look for the answer that does not deal with volume, mass, or even weight. So we can see that this diamond has weight. Weight does depend on the sample size. Circle has volume. That depends on the sample size. And the square has volume also, so that depends on the sample size. Melting point and boiling point do not depend on sample size. Okay, class, I hope this helps you study for the test a little bit. Go ahead and play the Kahoot that I've sent you through Remind, and watch this video to help you with some tips for your quiz tomorrow.